Welcome to Discussions and Drinks. There's the intro.
Welcome.
It's so ridiculous.
Welcome to Discussion and Drinks, where we have our special guest, Monique from Save Ferris.
We just forced to sit through. I'm sorry if that got really loud for you.
Are you kidding? It was fantastic. The evil unicorn was everything.
Yes.
Everything. Yes. He's everything dreams are made of.
He is everything dreams are made of. Yes. As soon as I saw that was a thing we could have, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
The best part, I don't know if we showed you this last time, but he's not always angry. Sometimes he's sad.
Oh my God, I love it.
He's
Where
angry.
did you find that?
You know what? We'll send you a link. We'll send you a link. There's
other animals too.
Yeah, there's a number of animals that they have. So they have all these stuffed animals that just look sad and then get super mad, which is fantastic.
Oh my God. I want one. I can't wait to see the angry sad kitty and angry sad.
I think they have a penguin, but I also believe they have frogs.
Yeah, there's frogs and stuff. There's a number of them. There's
Yeti, I think.
Yeti.
Yeah,
of course there's a Yeti.
Of course there is.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
There has to be.
The unicorn can't be the only fantastical creature.
Well, yeah, of course.
They need to have a pangolin.
Yes, a pangolin. Yes,
pangolin. I'm obsessed.
Pangolin. Oh, the other thing that we always do on discussions,
yes.
Do you know what day this is happening?
This is coming out on June the 9th.
June 9th.
The day of our Lord, June the 9th.
The day of our Lord, June the 9th. I'm going to find out what national holidays we have today, so we're just going to everybody.
But I do want to let everybody know, thank you for coming to Discussions and Drinks. We have Monique from Save Ferris back on with us.
Yes.
I think you are the first quickest return guest we've ever had on this show.
Yes.
That makes me so happy because I just really, really love you guys. I had so much fun with you the first time.
That's awesome. We had so much fun with you too. We were just talking about how the last few shows that we've done have been really kind of since you, honestly, guest wise, it's been so much fun. And we've really kind of connected and got along with people and had some awesome conversations that I think even upped our game.
Yeah.
From even what we had before. So you were the crux. You are the teeter of our totter.
Thanks, guys. I so appreciate that.
Yeah.
That makes me feel great.
No, absolutely. So other aside from you being on tour right now with new music out, we do have right now, everybody's listening to this on June 9th, we are celebrating National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day. I've never had a strawberry rhubarb pie. Have you?
No, but what makes it? Oh, rhubarb is a
root.
It's a root thing.
Yes, and I've heard that if cooked wrong or improperly, it can kill you.
Oh, so there's an element of danger, like a blowfish.
It is. Rhubarb is the blowfish of root vegetables.
The blowfish of root vegetables. That's great.
Oh, wow. That is...
Oh, man. I want to be known as the blowfish of something. Wait, no, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I changed my mind. I just changed my mind.
Yeah.
Upon thinking about that for half a second, I've decided. It is also African American Music Appreciation Month.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Yes,
which
I do too.
We're all in the rock genre, so that's a subsidiary of
the. I mean, every cool thing we stole from excellent African American music, blues,
absolutely,
everything. It is International Dark and Stormy Day. So Dark and Stormy is a beverage made with ginger beer and dark rum.
Oh, that's an actual drink.
Yes.
It was like International Dark and Stormy Day. Like they're honoring days that are dark and stormy.
Right, or maybe emo moods.
Emo vibes.
Emo vibes today with our rum, dark rum and ginger beer.
Yeah.
It is a month, so
check your testicles.
Check your beanbag, guys. It is, and I want you to see how this is spelled. It is America Day. I don't know.
The most special day of all the days.
I guess
it is, and it's. I mean, I wouldn't make that a holiday so close to the 4th of July, but I mean, here we are. Who the hell am I?
Well, okay. So interestingly enough, I don't think that is America. Now that I'm looking at it, Day of America. Get ready to celebrate the vibrant culture and delicious cuisine of America on Day of America Day, filled with music, dancing. Where is this place? The anniversary of the approval of its Statute of Autonomy in 1982. Dia de la Región de America.
Wow.
Yeah. So it just shows how dumb I am. Romans, Phoenicians, and more all occupied the region at some point. So yes, it is not America; it's America.
Oh, okay.
Look at us being judgy. Look at.
Well,
we're all. It's also Pride Month, everybody. Yes.
Right on.
And it is also Writers' Rights Day. So, as songwriters, I will say writers' rights are very important to me. And I don't know if either of you saw, but there were people that just a week ago tried to go into the National Copyright Office saying like, oh no, we're here for Doge. We're here for this. We're here for that. And they didn't let them in. And it was somebody saying that they were like in charge of something. I don't know all the stories. I'm giving you like half-assed facts right now, which is, we're online. So that's what I can do.
Yeah, it's what the internet does.
But I do know that people were stopped from going into the Copyright Office that were basically kind of like Doge-ish people.
Interesting.
Like they were not just posing.
Right. Like I know there's a bill being put out right now that basically they're trying to make it okay for AI to use copyrighted material to learn and create things. And we're trying to fight that, of course, because if I write a song, I don't need AI freely using my song to learn how to rewrite my song and then use it for something. Like we should all be paid for that.
Sure.
We're screwed enough. We don't need other reasons or other ways for them to steal from us all.
I absolutely agreed. And have you heard the songs that AI writes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
They are really bad.
We've had randomly funny.
We've had people.
I'm sure Doge people have listened to them and gone like, we need to get AI better.
I'm sure that's the soundtrack. What? That's the soundtrack for every 25-year-old Doge computer hacker that's getting rid of our Social Security right now.
They can, yeah. No freaking way. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I agree.
Hands off.
I agree.
And I'm glad that they were stopped.
Yes.
I'm glad that they were stopped. Yes. Hopefully that stays. Hopefully everybody in charge over there doesn't just get fired and they don't get defunded. But I everybody that cares about music and cares about songs and cares about the fact that songs change your life and affect minds and affect hearts and can bring people together from all over the world. These are important things. These are things to keep your eye on and support songwriters.
Yes.
And support.
And
also,
support people on tour.
Yes.
Like Save Ferris.
Yes.
Save Ferris is...
Look at that segue.
Yeah. That's what I do here. That's what I do here. I'm so excited. You guys got to play some shows with our buddy John from Keep Flying.
Yeah.
As well. How has the tour been going? I mean, besides full disclosure, we tried to do this earlier. This is a rescheduled date.
Yes.
And like an hour before this started, I was texting Mo going, "Hey, how's it going?" And she was like, "Oh, we're stuck in traffic," and she's taking pictures.
Currently coming to us from a Starbucks in Texas.
Yeah.
I am an hour out. We had to pull over because we got stopped on this 2-lane highway because a truck had just like ignited and was on fire.
Oh,
and
man.
So it was just like everyone was stopped, literally turn their car off, get out of their car, look to see what's going on. We sat there for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and I was sending you pictures of that.
See the truck on fire?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. At first, I couldn't see what was going on. I thought it was a gas line. Maybe some workers had hit a gas line because it was major.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, very interesting. I was like, oh my God. So I've just found a Starbucks on the way to where we're going in Houston. Pulled over.
Well, and then so last week, you guys also, you were kind of stuck. Like what happened?
Missouri?
What the hell's going on?
It's just,
I mean, life on the road, but
yeah.
Did you rent the bandwagon? Is that what it is?
Do not have a bandwagon. We're in vans and hotels.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
But we've had some unusually long drives. And so it's just been really difficult to be able to get to like the hotel in time to set up and make sure the Wi-Fi is stable and all of that. So I'm glad we could reschedule.
Yeah.
Well, people don't realize, like, for those of you that are listening and stuff, you know, if you're listening and you're not a musician and you haven't been on tour, like the amount of time sometimes that is spent getting from one place to another, like you'll drive 7 hours to play 40 minutes, and then you'll immediately get back in the car and drive another 7 hours to play another 40 minutes. Like, and sometimes that's a best case scenario. And if there's traffic or accidents or bad weather or any of these things, like if you get hung up by anything at all, you know, like we have a gig in DC next Friday, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this is Memorial Day weekend. This is going to be from New York to DC, which is a 3-hour drive. It's gonna take us 5.
It's a 4.
Right?
It's a 4-hour drive.
4-hour drive. It's gonna take us 6.
6. I was gonna say, give yourself like an hour or two bumper.
Yeah, like
Sure.
explain a little bit, kind of like, because people don't understand. They don't think. They just think like they think like, oh, rock stars are flying into places and being bussed into places, and they're sleeping in their bunks in the bus, and they have like everything is amazing. They're just drinking whiskey and you know it's all cocaine and blowjobs all the way.
I want to live that dream.
Right.
I want to lay down and pretend like that's my life, cocaine and blowjobs.
So, like, explain a little bit, like, what you guys have been going through, and like just kind of how this tour is going and what's plotted out and where you guys are headed and all that kind of stuff.
Well, this tour is ending in St. Louis in about a week. We have been, I can tell you where we've been so far. Let me pull up my schedule. But it's so many different places, and you drive so much that they literally have to write the city on my set list because I don't know where I'm at sometimes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So people are always like, oh, cool, you saw these places. And I'm like, I saw a van and a hotel and a venue.
And if we're lucky, they give us a private bathroom.
Right. And if I need to be on a podcast, a Starbucks. Exactly.
You absolutely understand. The So it started in Chicago, and then we went to Grand Rapids, and Madison, Wisconsin, then Block, Wisconsin, then Des Moines, Iowa, then Minneapolis, Omaha, Lawrence, Kansas, Wichita, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then we had a day off in which we drove from Tulsa to Nashville.
Oh,
From Nashville to
Okay, so
Greenville
how many
to Raleigh.
shows in a row before the day off?
So that was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shows.
So
a day
10
off,
shows,
and then
10 different cities before a day off, just so everybody's aware of how this is.
And then we have another 13 shows in a row.
Yeah,
in a row.
which is, I mean,
No day
that's
off.
awesome. That's a great tour. Like that's a lot of shows. That's very cool. Sometimes in that amount of time, people will do like 8 shows. You know what I mean? Like it'll be like, oh, we've got a show and then we have 2 days off, and then we have 2 shows and then we have 3 days off, and then we have 2 shows. So a lot of times, like I'll see things like that, or like people that are a little bit lower on the local thing will be like, okay, we're driving somewhere and we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows, and then we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, nothing to do. Wednesday, like an open mic, and then we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows. So it's good that you've got that many shows. Like that's awesome, because that's a goal, and that's a place, and that's a destination, and income, and that's like all those things. So that's good.
Yeah, every day that we're not playing, we're still paying for van rental, gas, salaries, hotels,
Yep.
and everything else.
Yeah.
How big is your crew?
It's not that big. So there's 6 in the band, and we have a tour manager, and a merch person, and actually 2 merch people, but one of them acts as an assistant for me.
Okay, cool.
So
a relatively
yeah.
small crew, so that's good, right?
Yeah.
But again, you guys got to realize that like all those people are getting paid every day, and if you're not getting paid on a day, that doesn't mean everybody else isn't.
You know what else they're doing? They're eating,
and they're eating. They're sleeping in a. We're not all sleeping in one room either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we might.
We might.
Yeah.
We might.
So I think it's sometimes people lose that, and there should be a little bit more of a if you're questioning, should I go to this show, should I wait to see them the next time they come around, like how's the night feeling, like just remember that like it actually takes a lot to get to your town.
The work that goes into
go to
getting
the show.
there. Yeah.
Go to the show, support, and when you're there, be super loud and be super crazy in the audience, because that's the payoff, and that is everything. So for all of you listening, like go to the show, be the person that makes everybody around you dance and get loud. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd, and nobody wants to be first, so be first.
It's true.
And
I feel really lucky that we were able to string together this many shows.
Yeah.
But the drives are ridiculously long between some shows, because a lot of the small venues have closed down.
Right.
COVID wiped a bunch of them out. I think we talked about this,
Yeah.
And the existence of the large festival is kind of discouraged people, and to a certain degree, from going to small club shows, because they say, oh, I'll just see that band at the festival, or they spend all year saving up for that one big festival.
Yep.
And so they're just like, oh, I'm not going to spend any money at a club show. So, and then the clubs end up closing down, and then we have to route longer distances between clubs.
Yeah.
To get a tour together. So like this club has to be open on this night for a band. No one else can be booked there, and just like all the stars have to perfectly align in order to route a tour like this. And so there's been some ridiculously long drives, and Matt, our tour manager, is just a little angel and just drives his little booty off. Bless his heart.
Oh, nice. That's
awesome.
What's been the longest commute so far?
Well, was it Tulsa to Nashville? Tulsa, Oklahoma to Nashville.
That's a journey. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had a day off in between, so we thought,
Okay.
oh well, we can.
Right, we can kind of double that up. So
So
that's
hard
far.
because-
Jesus.
So for all of you who are hearing day off,
Right. Right. That just means
her
no,
day off was
that just means no awesome show where there's a
driving
payoff.
in the flat plains of
Right.
of wonderful Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
That's-
finding
was-
some
it
good
was-
barbecue.
I've seen, yes. Okay. So I got really good barbecue.
Nice.
Mhm.
And having the girls with me, we got a second car, just to kind of clear up some room in the van, and also because I get a day room so that I can get ready in it, because there's some clubs have no green room whatsoever,
Right.
no privacy for me to change and put
Right.
on my wig and do all that stuff. So we get a day room. Usually it's what we call a murder hotel, very inexpensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go to the murder hotel
Right.
to get ready, and we'll take that car and drive back and forth, or the girls will run the errands for the band or whatever it is we need. But so I've been riding with the girls in the car, in the second car, and it's just sort of turned into a girls' trip. We've been having
Nice.
so much fun.
How many girls?
Well, that's
are on
awesome,
the-
though.
how many girls are on the
It's-
trip with you?
So it's just us three. So
Okay.
it's me and two others,
Nice.
and it's been really fun. I mean, I do miss the guys. They always make me laugh, and we have so much fun together. But this has been a real treat. We've met baby alligators and gone to Buc-ee's for the first
What?
time. I went to my first Buc-ee's.
I went to my
We-
first Buc-ee's recently.
Just recently.
yeah.
Actually, we were in Birmingham, Alabama,
Yeah.
for work,
Yeah.
and we found out about an hour before that tornadoes were hitting.
Yeah.
And
Our
our
work got
event-
canceled.
Was canceled.
The event was
Oh,
canceled.
God.
And then
Yeah.
they were like, well, you can drive to Atlanta and hope to get out there, but the storm is heading that way. And we were
Right.
just like, we're in a Marriott. It's in Alabama.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, we went to a Buc-ee's for the first time.
How did you
and
feel about your first Buc-ee's experience?
It was wonderful.
It's pretty magical,
And-
right? Did you see the bathroom though? Because I didn't. And then when we left, they were like, "You didn't see the bathroom?"
No, tell me about
There's-
this.
Apparently,
Yeah,
it's
what?
super clean. I
Apparently-
didn't go in the bathroom myself. I was so
It's clean
excited
the
about
minute
the-
everyone leaves. Anyone leaves the bathroom, that bathroom is cleaned and automated and it's
Yeah.
turned into a magical place.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I was like, gas station bathroom? No, I didn't see it. Crazy, right?
Wow, maybe that's where I'll find my cocaine and hookers on the road.
Maybe that's where you.
Buc-ee's
Yep.
bathroom.
Maybe.
just,
Buc-ee's
appear.
bathroom.
I feel like because we were hunkering down, we were like, okay, well, tornado, possibly the end of the world. So
Right.
let's
So
get
scary.
some snacks. And we got so many snacks. One of them
Wow.
being the Buc-ee's, the jerky.
Yeah, the jerky.
It's
is fantastic.
expensive AF,
Really good though.
but it is A1.
So have you tried their brisket sandwich?
no,
We didn't. We
Is it?
didn't.
Okay.
They have the Buc-ee's we went to, there was a guy, he had his own barbecue area.
Yeah.
And
Okay, yeah.
So, he was chopping the meat fresh and making the sandwiches fresh. And I was like, give me that. And I
It smelled so good in there. It's crazy.
Yeah, we did see it. I think we had just eaten this huge breakfast
Yeah.
before. And
Well,
that's
we
why
were getting
Probably
rations. We were getting rations for the next day.
right.
That was the idea behind it. And funny enough, we then proceeded to go out that night and we got so drunk that the next day, neither of us, I didn't get out of bed until 5 p.m. and I just felt like death. And I got out when they were when he was like, "Are you up? Are you moving?" And I was like, "Kinda."
Did you get Bucky nuggets?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Those are
Bucky
great
nuggets
hangover
are
food.
awesome. Those are
And we
really
were just while we were stuck in that weird trafficy thing just
Mhm.
now, we were like, do we have rations? How long are we going to be sitting here?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear a little crunch crunch in the back seat, and I'm like, you're eating the Bucky nuggets? And
You can't break into those first.
You're not sharing the Bucky nuggets.
Wow.
How dare you?
Share the Bucky nuggets.
Guess who doesn't get a day room now?
Right, yeah.
Go to the van with the guys.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That was
Bucky's
great.
is really cool. I like that they have so many Bucky branded things too.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like it was a little bit of a trip initially, but
Yeah, for sure. It felt like going into like a Chuck E. Cheese without the pizza or entertainment.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, we threw Megan a Bucky's cool birthday pizza party.
Nice.
Like they have entire like little tiny plastic Bucky's hats for everybody.
Fantastic.
Party
Fantastic.
hats. Yeah.
Was Bucky walking around for you guys?
No. Did
Oh,
you
we
have
saw
a
Bucky.
We got
live
Bucky.
Bucky?
I saw live
Yes.
Bucky. Yeah.
Not fair.
Yeah, my kids would be terrified. Absolutely
yeah.
terrified.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, it's Bucky. It's the Bucky.
Yeah.
It's the Bucky.
Yeah.
Wow.
That Bucky chain smokes in the back.
With the hookers and the blow.
With the hookers.
hookers
and
You
the
know
blow.
Bucky's naughty. Bucky's naughty.
I
That's
think
what
like
people
hookers and
like.
blow in a Bucky's bathroom is an album title.
Album. Title.
I made a drink. Me and a friend, when we an old bandmate of mine, we were in a band called Sick as Monday, and so we worked at a bar together, and we created a night called Sick as Monday Mondays, and we made deals and got people in, and it was like a ladies' night and all this stuff, and we made a drink, and we decided that we wanted it to have like a provocative name to it, and when I lived in Las Vegas. I used to listen to a radio station, and their call sign was like, "A party ain't a party without hookers and blow." And I was like, "What?" so,
Jesus.
yeah, I thought the same. I was like, "I love Vegas. Vegas is amazing." So we made a drink called Hookers and Blow, and that.
So what's in it?
So that drink is okay. It's 151 and vodka. It's got a 151 floater, right?
And a cocaine rim.
And so we light it on fire, and that's the you get a burn from a hooker, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and then it was one of those drop it in drinks and then do it.
Yeah, like a
so and the
like a flaming Dr. Pepper. Kind
yeah,
of
like
thing.
a flaming Dr. Pepper or like a what is it, Irish car bomb type of situation. And our glass that we put it in was Red Bull with a little bit of like cranberry juice to sweeten it a little bit.
Mhm.
So you got like a caffeine hit and then this like 151 shot. And it was lit on fire and stuff, and that was our hookers and blow shot. And we sold a lot of those.
And it tasted good.
It tasted really good, and you just drank
what
the
did
whole
it taste
thing.
like?
It was a little bit fruity because of the cranberry juice, but then you got that little bit of like metallic brain hit from the Red Bull. And then
So it tasted a little metallic.
a little fruity. And then the booze was just kind of like the 151 and vodka just kind of like evened each other out. So you didn't really taste the booze at all. You got a little bit of just that like a little sweetness from the rum, but it didn't burn.
No.
So it was really just like a metallic fruit.
151. By the way, 151 is not sold anymore.
Really?
They took it off the market. Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently, having liquor with a flame retardant cap doesn't mean fun anymore.
We'll just take off the flame retardant cap then. I mean that's the seatbelt of liquors right there. That's the seatbelt of bottleware.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I actually wanted to ask only because on this show
I'm gonna start calling friends flame retardant. I'm gonna be like, "You're flame retardant.
You're flame retardant.
You're flame retardant.
You're
You.
flame retardant. Way to be
Flame
flame retardant.
Yeah.
You know what's awesome? Fire, and you're flame retardant.
You should see him around
That's
fire.
a great insult.
Turning it into a compliment. You're awesome like fire. That makes you flame retardant.
You're flame retardant.
I wanted to ask a little bit about the new single,
Yeah.
Get Dancing, that is also on a 7-inch vinyl.
Yes.
Talk to me about that a little bit.
Pre-sale. Yes, so it's available for pre-sale now. We haven't done the official pre-sale launch yet, but we will as soon as we get back from Europe. And because when we're in Europe, we're going to be filming the video for the B-side, which
sweet.
is like not a B-side, it's just the other A-side because
Right.
it's
The
going
other
to be a new
song.
single. Yeah. And yeah, like the video came out and it's on YouTube now. It's on our YouTube channel.
Yep. Such a fun song too.
I'm having so much fun with it.
It's one of those songs that you start listening to it and it's over before you realize it.
Mhm.
Like it goes
very
it goes by really fast and you're like, I gotta listen to that again because I was grooving with it and I was having fun with it.
Yeah.
But it ended. But it also like it never gives you time to kind of be like, all right, I'm ready for the next thing. It instead gets you like that. It ends at just the right time where you're like, I want more of that.
Oh,
That's an art. That's an art to do. That's tough sometimes. You know, like I'm the king of leaving them wanting less. And, and to get to the end. This is true though. That's not even a joke.
That's not a joke.
That's real.
I have been at shows and he has overstayed his welcome on that stage.
Oh, for sure. If you don't make me leave, I don't leave. Like people are like, one more song, and I'm like, how about 10?
He's not the drummer. He's not the drummer that's with his band right now, but his old drummer
Yeah.
would literally stand up and just be like, he would literally do that
Yeah.
at the encores. It was
You're killing me.
You'll see.
Oh, it's amazing.
You'd see everyone in my band go.
Oh my god.
and the crowd. Don't forget the crowd. There's like 2 or 3 that are like, yeah.
Nah, man. I
And
had
then
the crowd
the
whole
rest
time.
of us are like, man, I just played a show. I played 2 hours ago.
Right.
I'd
You're
love
not
to
the crowd.
get
You're the
paid.
other bands.
Yeah. I'd love to get paid.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Well, you know what? That's what happens when you're the opener.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hey man.
So,
I chose it.
how do you know John from Keep Flying?
Mm.
Did you interview him?
We have, but
Yes.
we also we're from Long Island, which is where they're from.
Mhm.
So we played shows. We
Yeah.
played shows with them before, and funny enough, it took us to be at So What Fest, 2022,
Right.
and
To full
and
on.
for whatever reason, that was when we crossed paths, and then ever since then, we bump into each other at local shows now.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, it's one of those
so
things
they've
where you
been-
meet once and then you see each other everywhere, and you're like, were
Yeah.
we always seeing each other everywhere and just not realizing it?
Yeah, they've been opening for us this tour.
How's it been? Have they been cool?
Yeah, I mean they're really nice guys.
I heard an
No, they're really nice guys. It's you know what it is that I'm managing the band right now,
Mhm.
and it's a hard position for me to be in. And I'm not saying these guys are like that at all.
Yeah.
But I doubt myself a lot. But I have to make decisions based on 30 years experience.
Sure.
you know? And historically, the way it's happened is, some dudes don't like being told what to do by a chick, and so I hate managing. Hate it so much.
How long
but
have you
these guys
been-
have been super cool.
How long have you been managing?
Well, I was
Like, when did you take
Technically,
over
Save
that position?
okay. I was technically Save Ferris's first manager in
Right.
1995.
Right,
Right.
of course.
But I've been managing maybe for about the last 6 months or so.
Okay.
We put together this tour where we're going to Europe and everything. it's hard. It's been like really hard and very, you start to feel kind of lonely. That's why it's, you know, but my band is like super supportive, and Keep Flying guys are really nice. So I'm glad that I've been able to bring them along, you know, to open up for Save Ferris, because statistically it's been really difficult to be able to find bands that are okay. Like,
yeah, well, that's
I have a band
that's
that's okay with it. I know a band that's okay with it. You should. Oswald's Revenge is a band that's totally okay with it.
Yeah, they're totally okay with it.
They would love
to play with Save Ferris.
that would be amazing.
And you know what?
Yeah.
They have no problem taking direction from a female. In fact,
I'm married. I'm married, so I know.
I'm a feminist.
I'm good with it.
That's great. Yeah. It's like it's weird because it's just like I really like thought it didn't exist anymore, but now that I've been booking these, like, and this was not my intention.
Yeah.
I did not want to manage this band for this tour or the next tour or the tour after that.
Yes.
Well, right, yeah.
3 tours I'm managing.
Yeah.
We go to Europe and then we come back. We go to Canada. We did not want to do this, and we're releasing singles and we're releasing 7 inches. And
Sure.
so I did not want to do that, and it's just like this weird, like, you know, when you're a woman of a certain age and you've seen what I've seen and you've done what I've done for as long as I've done it, you kind of step back and you like look at why is there a pushback, or why aren't these guys that claim to be my friends asking for us to tour with them, you know,
Right.
and they're in these big bands. And if I didn't have a good head on my shoulders, I would just be so stressed out and depressed all the time. You know, my brain would start to go, it's because you're older, and once you're a certain age, you're invisible. And, you know, they just don't like you, or whatever.
Right.
Like your brain just starts to, if you're careful, because you have a lot of time to think
Yeah.
when you're in that band.
Yes.
I've
So-
also found that when you're, or at least I can only speak for myself, but when you're an artist and you have that kind of, like, you're the artist brain, so you're a writer, you're kind of in tune to your emotions in a different way than some people are, and you're already insecure and you're already like second guessing everything that you do, and all that kind of happens when you're put then in the position of you're the person calling the shots.
Authority, yeah. You're the person.
Yeah, I manage my band as well, and we did kind of a similar thing where I managed us to a point where we got management, and then I assisted managing until we didn't have management anymore, and then I'm managing again. And nowhere to the extent that you are, not at that level, but still, like, you're always kind of having that, am I doing the right thing? Why is this not happening? Why am I getting pushback for this? Would this person get pushback for this? And I can only imagine, also because I live with, and my girlfriend, my partner, is the manager of her band, and I've watched her deal with different things than I've had to deal with. So even where I've had kind of like struggles, she's like, well, this is what I've had to deal with. And I'm like, what are people saying to you? What? They're talking to you how?
Some of Annie's stories are wild.
It's crazy to me.
My favorite thing is when I'll say to someone, like, hey, I believe that I'm being treated in this way. Were you treated in this way as well? And I'll ask a man that question, because I want to say, was your experience with them similar? And their response so often is, those guys are my bros. Those guys are my bros.
Right,
it's
which
like,
isn't an
What does
answer.
that mean?
It's not an answer. Like, okay, so they're your bros, but like, this whole tribal thing that you have going on is not making me feel any better.
Yeah.
Kind of worse. Like
I have some really close bros that I have to occasionally go, you don't talk to people the same all the time.
Yeah.
Why? You know, like you can have bros, and those bros can still have moments where they're not either because of an inherent thing, or because maybe they're dicks in parts of their lives, or maybe they just don't know that they're doing it, but they treat people differently, and for whatever reason it is.
Right.
And when you're, which shouldn't happen, it shouldn't be a thing. And I find that, like, unfortunately, it still does exist. That, and we've had many talks with many different women on this show that are like working and professional and managing and booking and in charge, and it's unfortunate. It's really kind of like, it's frustrating how often you hear the same story.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it. Are we like, we're still like, still.
I also feel like, and it's not even just like a woman thing too, when it comes to like the booking end of things as well. Like, I think that there's just a lot of people, for no better way of saying it, that are in bands that think they know what the right move is and are just so far up their own ass that they just kind of, they dismiss everybody else. And that is not going to get you very far in any business.
Well, if you
especially something where you're connecting with people that the way you do with music.
That attitude happens a lot, and if you sprinkle it with a little light misogyny, it's like a recipe for disaster.
It's gross.
Well, the thing is, you said something that really resonated with me. Is that they don't know.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for me because I'm like, I just want to be a musician playing music,
right?
You know, amongst other musicians. Like,
well, and that's what you are, and other people are telling you you're something else.
Yeah, you know, and I just, you know, want to just do my job and do it well. But when you're the headliner for like this, everything falls on me.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah.
Anything that goes wrong, I gotta be there to fix it.
Well, when you're managing too, it's
And so I have a lot invested in this. And the reason why we're playing some of these difficult towns, statistically hard for my band, is because we need to break that seal. We never really did well in this area in 30 years. So because now I'm managing and I don't have to pay out that management commish, now we can go here because we can play for a lesser guarantee. Amazing. Awesome. But you know, I have to really protect my band and my brand and make sure that this is worth it.
Yeah,
for everybody, you know. So it's like, I think having the knowledge that I have sort of opens my eyes to being able to see the covert misogyny or the covert double standard, you know, a little bit more, but they don't know and they don't see it. I ask a lot of questions. Did these guys treat you the same way? I'll ask my guy friends. You ask them this question and stuff like that. Because sometimes I feel like maybe my brain is just playing tricks on me. And sometimes it's not.
It sucks.
But it's definitely, and to be more optimistic.
Yeah.
So much better than it was in the 90s. 90s was like a total show us your tits fest.
Right, yeah.
Like, not another band going show us your tits.
Right.
Well, we
it was
legitimately...
overt.
we
overt
legitimately
misogyny.
just had this discussion with our last one of our last guests.
Yeah.
Who the label exec was like, hey, it'd be awesome for the cover of this song.
Yeah, you should straddle a popsicle.
Straddle a popsicle in a bikini.
And she's like, I'm writing like angry rock songs. What
are you talking
Did you
about?
even listen to the record?
Yeah.
Like,
and
even to her credit,
cover, though.
To her credit,
she
was like
all opposite.
F you, I'm out. I'll put it out myself, and went the other direction, which is great.
And what she did was her the cover. It's Lilith Czar.
Yeah, Lilith Czar.
She got like prosthetics.
Check her out.
And
she's great.
Made herself like just this grotesque troll-like woman for the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, girl, that's right.
Yes, baby.
Do it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just gotta do that just so people can just see that it's about the music. You know? Like,
I think part of it is shocking people back into, like, sometimes people don't see something when you explain it to them. Sometimes they have to see it. You have to shock them into seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you either have to show them a complete opposite of what they're doing, or you have to lean into what they're doing so much and put it in their face and be a mirror of it for them to go, oh shit, was I doing that? Yeah. Because I honestly, I don't think, I hope people aren't really meaning to be that way.
Yeah.
I want to believe that people are like, no, we're in a different place now and we're thinking differently now, and artists are artists and writers are writers and managers are managers and professionals are professionals. And that dumbass, like, whatever's in the back of their mind that's making them go like, oh, well, I'll offer them less because I'm talking to a girl. Yeah. Like, isn't they're not thinking that. I hope
they're not.
And the ones that are,
too.
I hope they all stub their toe every day on something really sharp until they decide to not do that anymore.
I don't know about sharp. I think more of like a blunt object.
Coffee table.
Yeah.
It's like this festival that we're playing in Europe that we played before.
Mm-hmm.
We come back to play this festival, and now we're playing at 2:00 in the afternoon. Same amount of money.
Right.
But there's like, it's almost like we've been added. This is something that you'll see, that you would see a lot maybe about 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
Where they're like, okay, well, we're going to add the token woman to the bill. And then they just kind of add us to the bottom of the bill.
Right.
Just to say, well, see,
we did it.
We did this.
We did it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny.
I'm always like,
right.
You see a lot of that with like when we were young, people getting called out like, hey, where are the women? Where are the female artists on this bill? And people were like,
we still haven't been asked to play that festival.
The one we were young.
Well, no women have.
No,
so.
Yeah, no women have yet.
Yeah, so it's okay. It's a boys' club, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's like when we were young was in the 90s, and like I was saying, it was much more overt.
Well, women don't play music.
You know what's funny though is if anybody ever asks you like, "Hey, do you want to hang out with all dudes?" It's like, no, I do not.
I mean, listen, my femininity is like part of my show because I denied myself the right to embrace my femininity because I just wanted to be taken seriously and I just wanted to be a part of that boys' club.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted everybody to look at me the same and treat me the same and give me the same rights. And, let's just hang out, be cool, and tell jokes. And, fart in the van together.
Right.
Like, come on, guys. What I realized is that at that time, there were people that see me as never. And I wasn't going to do all I could do. define why I do what I do. And that's like when I went, you know what, I'm going to go the complete opposite direction. Instead of like denying myself my femininity, I'm going to create this character that is like overtly feminine, but then also brash and outspoken and can hang with the guys. And the girls love her because she's funny, and it's not necessarily who I am in my real life, but I wanted to create a character that was just fun. Just said, hey, let's just be who we are and have a great time. And then all of a sudden my ideals, like why I do what I do, came into view. Like, oh, I want to spread joy. I want to spread like togetherness and all of these things that music provides for people. Feeling. I want people to feel something. And so that's where I want to stay. But unfortunately, being in this manager place, I'm just like, I have to take off that show head, put on the management head, and just like, they're so completely different.
Yeah.
How do you balance that? Like, how do you, if it's a particularly difficult management situation, how do you then balance that with the artist situation? Are you able to go, well, this is my release for this, and so I can kind of do that, and it's a cathartic good thing? Or is it still kind of figuring out like the I'm going to work mad, or I'm going to my fun place angry, or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah. You know, I've learned to set boundaries. I've learned to practice self-care. I know these things all sound kind of weird. But it actually works.
Hold on one second, because you're kind of breaking up. Like, it's almost like there's a gate on you. And I want to make sure.
Still.
Oh wait, let's check real quick. Let's just make sure we're okay.
Oh, hello.
Settings. Echo cancel.
You hear me okay? Hello.
Yep. Okay.
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Definitely better. Okay, good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
so basically, I learned to set boundaries and practice self-care, and it's like weird woo-woo sounding stuff, but it actually works. It actually does.
Yeah.
Good.
I think it's important for anybody, but like, the self-care does like kind of bring you out, like, you know, because you're dealing with all of the day-to-day. You're dealing with whatever, you know, a lot of times you don't get to see a venue before you step into it.
Mm-hmm.
So you get there and you're like, okay, this is what I have to work with. Okay,
exactly.
Let's figure out how this works.
Yeah.
You do all that, you're able to, with a little bit of self-care, what do you get there early, leave for a sec, and come back? How does that work?
Well, so a few things I did to help me in my role here. I have a business manager, I have a booking agent, I have a musical director. My bass player is sort of in charge of that aspect of stuff.
Oh, awesome.
Sure, you know, he does the sound checks for me. And while he does the sound checks, I get to go back to my murder hotel or motel.
Right.
And zone out for just a little bit. Sometimes I need a nap. Sometimes I need to just zone out for like an hour and meditate. And shift back into artist mode. Who am I? Why am I here? Who am I here for? What is the message? What are my values? And so I find that when I'm deviating from being centered in that place, when I forget why I'm here, what's important, I start to feel very unsure of myself.
Okay.
And and I listen, not people, like I said, setting boundaries and self-care, like people, like a lot of people don't like boundaries.
Yeah.
And so it's not I'm not here to impose a boundary on you. I'm just here to say, like, this is where I'm comfortable, and like,
Right.
Let's try and work together to make the
Yeah,
situation.
setting one for me is not imposing it on you. It's just setting it for me.
Sure.
Correct.
Right? Like it has nothing to do with you. You just happen to be here.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, because people don't like being imposed upon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, okay, so as a band that will be doing some road shows and touring with a female drummer, what are some things that the rest of us boys can do in that situation to make sure that our girl is feeling confident and seen and not having any like those kind of like out of place moments or any of that kind of stuff? What advice can you give us?
I mean, that's interesting that you asked that. I mean, I think all women are different, obviously. And for me, I just kind of want to be treated the same as everybody else. Like, all the guys I hang out with all kid around. We all kid around with each other, tell funny jokes and tell funny stories. And the guys that I'm in this band with are just so kind and loving. And that's kind of the thing. It's just to be good to each other. Just be good to each other.
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the easy part.
It's amazing how
for everybody.
That's just life advice. Just be good to each other, you know? Like be good to each other and say all the same jokes. If you wouldn't say it in front of somebody, don't say it at all.
Right.
Exactly.
That's good advice.
And it's good to ask questions too.
Yeah.
Hey, did I make you feel uncomfortable when I said that? If I did, I'm really sorry. Or ask questions. I hope I didn't make you feel uncomfortable, or stuff like that. But I don't think that we're gonna have much of a problem with you two. You two are pretty tuned in.
We try and be. We try and be.
And you try. And
well, I can upend that really quick.
Yeah.
I can upend that. Right. So, Monique, I have to ask, the reason why you're selling or you're going to be putting out vinyl singles, is it because you think that records sound better, or because now that's the tangible?
No, it's because I'm a record collector and 7 inches are highly collectible. And as someone
there you go.
Who collects and respects
that's the reason.
The vinyl my whole life. That's why. It's for the collectors, but also because, I want to be able to release singles and then have something to show for them. And then when we have like a 5-song EP, we'll put it on the CD. People buy them for the artwork, really. They don't have anything to play that shit.
Right, so why not give them bigger artwork?
Or cassette,
and a collectible,
I was just curious because I do have friends that are like,
but because you're anti.
I'm not okay. I am not anti.
You have a hot take.
I'm not anti-tangible, right? I love artwork. I love reading liner notes.
Mm-hmm.
I love who contributed to this record.
Yes.
Who contributed to make this? I love the artwork. I love all that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna tell me that the record sounds better than any other medium, I'm gonna go phooey.
Well, it's got to be mixed for the medium. Like, for instance, my original, Diamond Dogs record, needs to be played on vinyl because it was mixed and mastered for vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be heard through a record player. Now, in the 90s, we were all putting out CDs.
Mm-hmm.
So we mixed and mastered digitally for CDs.
The fact that there's a different process for both tells you right there that there's a different sound for both.
But you guys
otherwise
say that.
They wouldn't. Otherwise, they would. There would be no difference in the mastering process.
But how many bands do you think? We're talking modern, right? You aside, right? How many bands are going, hey, we should have this remixed to go on record versus bands that are going, hey, records are a thing again. Let's go print one.
Well, I would hope, and I'll just jump.
I would hope.
Yeah. I would think that if anybody cares at all about their art and about how they're putting out their music, which is their most personal possible thing, that they're going to say, what's the best way I can put this out? And it's not just a cash grab.
Right.
Is what I think.
Yeah.
I would like, and so I think more than art, honestly. I think if the label is making all those decisions without the band involvement, then the label might just be going like, whatever. But even in that case, I think they would say remix it for vinyl, because then they can charge the band again. So I think...
I didn't think about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's what I think. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Mo?
I think labels are they're looking at the bottom line. For them, it's really just about how profitable is this going to be for us. It's a profit-making machine.
Yeah.
When you have artists who are managing themselves, who are not signed to major labels, they're making more decisions based on the art itself, I think. At least that's true for me.
Yeah.
I love looking at 7-inch art or at a full-length vinyl, like with the art and the liner notes and everything.
Yeah.
I frame records. I have records framed in my home, ones that I find particularly beautiful. They're art pieces. And for me, that's really special. So, more special than an 8-track or a cassette tape. Even though cassette tapes I used to lay around and open,
but they're fun.
And read all the small writing.
Right, yeah.
But
Well, I think there was a point, and I think probably I don't know about you. You're a little bit younger than me, but I know for me, and I'm not sure for you. Maybe not. But there was a point in time with music where there was just like, if you got a record, you listened to it from front to back. You read every liner note, you read every lyric, you brought your friends over, and then you like read the liner notes to them. You gave them the artwork to look at. You talked about it. You talked about who was on it. Like, there was so much that went into, there was an interest in what all went into this and what everything means. Like, I can remember, and I'm okay dating myself with this, but I can remember thinking that the inside cover of Appetite for Destruction, with the weird machine thing and the girl lying down and the blades and all that kind of stuff, that I was told was like, this was going to be the cover, but it was too crazy, so they didn't do it. Like, that was a thing that made me go like, oh man, and then they put it on the inside, and that's awesome, and that's super cool. So there was a story that went with a record or a release. Right. There was like a whole kind of like lore that went into it that I feel like got lost, and I think now is maybe coming back around again. Yeah, that I think makes some of that stuff more important. Yeah. Some of that artwork, some of that, like, I think all of that, it makes a record more interesting. It really does. Like, it truly does. We listen to a record, sure, but I think if we take music and we make it only about what the BPM is, and put it in our background, and maybe once in a while a lyric will hit us and we'll say like, oh, that's my favorite song now. Like, I think that diminishes the whole thing. And I think if we look at music and go, there's a story behind this whole record, like, oh my God, did you know that this person was doing this in the vocal booth with this person, and this happened, and all this kind of stuff, and Do you know that like on the Aerosmith record, Steven Tyler didn't have a shaker, so he used sugar packets and created a shaker up against the microphone for this. Or you can hear all these things, and then it makes you go in and you listen to the song differently, and you go like, oh, I heard it, and it makes you feel like you're part of it. And I think there was a long period of time where the encouragement to be part of the backstory and part of the process and included was not even kind of a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping we're getting back into that.
Yeah.
And I think like releasing vinyl is part of that, because it creates at least a story. It creates like, oh man, point. they're doing vinyl. Cool. Why are they doing vinyl? It anything that encourages a question.
Hearing it on a Spotify playlist.
Right.
Which is just like it just comes and goes so quickly when you're actually buying a vinyl.
Yeah, sure. you buy a vinyl because you want to listen to the whole thing. There's a reason to get it. Or even if you're not going to listen to it and you're just going to look at the artwork, at least you're connecting what you're listening to with something that you're seeing, so more of your senses are involved.
Yeah. I will say like there is a reason why like I'm friends with you and not a lot of my high school friends when it comes to that kind of thing where it's like, oh, cool, I just got this new album. I'm going to read this front to back.
Yeah.
Like, I used to do that. Like, that was my thing. Not to date myself, but I am a part of that group of millennials that are like, I'm not a millennial. I swear I'm not a millennial. Please, don't lump me in with them.
I'm Gen X.
Please put me with Gen X.
I'm Gen X.
Please put me with Gen X. Like, I want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You may categorize me as here, but I'm there.
Right.
Please.
Right.
But yeah, like I still do love, like, you know, obviously we're in a band, so like we have to approach things a certain way because that's just the way that the music industry is. We have to put out singles every month because.
But I do the artwork, and I put a lot into that artwork. I'm like, oh, I want it to. What's the song saying to me, and how do I communicate this? How do I make it something somebody wants to look at more than once? And but then it's like, oh, make it so they can see it like super small because it's going to be super small, and I'm like, oh, I hate you.
But I do love that when a band that I love is putting out a record, like I legitimately go, I need to cut out time this week because this band is putting out a record and I need to listen to it. I need to go into a space and I gotta listen to it front to back. I loved the tangibles, but you know, that's the downside.
I love it, and I love the crackle on the album. I love hearing the crackle.
Okay.
See, okay.
Really
it's
very comforting to me. But I gotta go, you guys. I'm still an hour away from the venue.
Yeah. Well.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah.
You definitely.
And we gotta
go
drive
ahead
to Loden.
Yeah.
I just love
you know what?
hanging
Thank
out
you
with
for
you guys.
carving
I could
out.
literally do this. I could literally do this all the time. You are so funny.
Hey, you can be a reoccurring guest. We can make that
reoccurring
happen.
character.
We can make that.
You just let us know.
You can
text
be special
hey,
guest star.
I'm around.
Special guest
Notes
star.
from the road.
Yes. Do it. Let's do it.
Oh, dude, just shoot cell phone videos, send them to us. We'll put them in the middle of the show.
Oh my God, when you're in Europe, we'll do it at 3 a.m. It doesn't matter. Let's do something.
Let's do that. That would be so fun.
That would be so fun. Let's definitely do that.
Hit us up whenever you want.
Hit us up when you're there, if at all possible. If you have time, hit us up when you're there, and we'll do another like Tales from the Road while you're in Europe, and we'll kind of keep up with it.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Oh, thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
so
thank you for finding a Starbucks away from the venue.
We could talk to you for hours.
Weeks at a time.
Yeah, we need to let you go. You're right. Yeah. Thank you for telling us and cutting us off.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! I don't want to cut you off. I want to do this. I want to stay.
I know you
with
don't.
You all day long.
I know you don't.
I got to get to load.
Go get to Houston.
Yo,
we have to load in the merch.
Awesome.
I have all the.
You're manager and singer. You can't. You can't be.
I can't be late.
Yeah, you can't be late.
Totally. Guys,
thank you for sharing all this with us. Honestly, I think a lot of our listeners, even not musicians, but a lot of our listeners will get a bigger appreciation for everything that it goes into going to see something, but also a lot of our ladies that are listening to our show that are creating things. We have a listener that is actually starting to book shows and starting to do that kind of stuff. Like, they're going to get a lot from it as well. So it just means a lot, So it's awesome. So thank you for sharing your perspective, and thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate it.
Go check out Get Dancing.
Yes.
Do it now. When it's ready. Go order the vinyl. And whether or not you have a record player.
No, get it and
Doesn't
frame
matter.
it and put it on your wall, and go see them live, because you see everything that goes into it. Jesus Christ. Go see it.
Yeah,
Mo works our ass off.
You're
Do
amazing.
Great
And don't forget to ask yourself the most important question of all time. What's that question?
What is your bacon?
Yes! She remembers.